Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
These people that talk about pressure's part of life. How many of you go to work every day and there's 11,000 people screaming at you while you're trying to fill out that form? I mean, give me a break. Go to work tomorrow and let's bring 11,000 people with you to scream at you and say, Doug, you're not any good. You're great Monday through Thursday, but on Friday, you're always terrible. I mean, let's see how you do that day. Come on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Well, Chuck's gone, and we are unsupervised today, which is going to be real nice. Clark, let's do it. We've got him memorialized. I mean, that is the that's what's going on over there.
It doesn't say away on permanent assignment.
I will say that you guys left the Scotch tape sitting out right there, which is also perfect. Could you? Does he have that stack of hats off to the side? Maybe you could put that where he.
Maybe we can just feature one per
normally
segment.
Would sit.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure where this is going to go today, but it's going to be a party. So
we're going to have a good time.
We have made a decision to have a good time. Also, hey, I saw it again, just right out of the gate here. I'm reading the newspaper this morning, online, of course.
Well, where are you going to find an actual
Deke Adams. Well, you can get him. I've seen him at the gas station.
Yeah.
I just kind of look at it and go, wow. Man, I remember reading that every day.
Yeah, same.
You know, and then you'd have like khaki pants on.
Oh,
and you'd have some
ink
leftover
stains
ink from your like on your hands from the newspaper. I kind of miss that.
I do too.
But then you get it on your pants. I miss a good old newspaper read though.
Yeah,
I do.
same.
I do. It's not the same, but I was reading it as I do now. WholeHogSports.com, full credit, and I've printed this off because I want to read it to the masses today.
Okay,
It's just a paragraph. Deke Adams made it 10 for 10 on Razorback assistant coaches who said their respective position groups are in line to have a good season.
Okay.
Most of them projected their position group was better than last year, with offensive coordinator Bobby Petrino adding the extra element of saying the entire offense was much better. So Kool-Aid Corner's not going anywhere, kids. Hey.
How about that?
Let's go.
How about that?
So how do we feel about that? How do you feel that most of the position coaches feel like their group is better than they were last year? Discuss among yourselves. Blow up the text line with how much crap this is, please. Continue to tell
that's
me.
what people are going to say.
I know.
People are cynics, man.
It's fine. I'm just saying. Why would they say those things?
What do you want them to say?
I did
his
see.
team sucks.
Well, we had the Kool-Aid Corner earlier this week, and I made the mistake of opening Twitter, and I did see a comment that said something to the effect of they had to upset Tennessee and Auburn last year to go 6-6. That's not the expectation. That's not the standard we're looking for. These people do fail to tell me what the standard is.
Yeah.
Like, what is the standard, and how do you get there, and why?
Yeah.
Why do you believe they should be there?
We should define that.
I'm here for it.
We should define what the standard
Bart, I've been
is.
asking for it for a year.
I know.
We'll have been doing this particular show for a year.
It's coming up pretty
in
quick.
the last week in August. By the way, I was asked by friends last night if you have anything special planned for the 1 year Chuck and Bo show anniversary. Actually, they said we, and I said, let me ask Bart.
What's the official date?
Like the 26th, whatever the Monday of the first game week was last year. You weren't even here for that.
No.
So we'll have to then
We
do
were on the
your
phone at
1
that
year
point.
anniversary. I was courting Edward at that point.
It was the 26th.
It was a recruitment process.
August 26th.
Edward was making. It is the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
Edward was.
I was
making,
here within a month.
He
of
was
that.
making demands. This is what
He
people.
was making
Oh,
demands.
I
Give me a
understand.
break.
I understand the transfer portal better than most because I plucked Edward out of it.
You did.
And got him to Fayetteville. He was in Waco, and I've got friends in Waco, and I've got a lot of admiration for some of the coaches at Baylor. Good friends, great people. Spent a lot of time down there doing a series a couple of years ago. but man, I don't want to live there. And Edward didn't either. And so it was.
We were
I
there
knew
for a
that.
year. We were there for a year.
He was the general manager
It's a
of
year too
Baylor
long.
Plus, the equivalent of Hogs Plus in Waco. And so I knew he wanted to come back to God's country.
That's right.
And when he was making all these demands, I had to just stand my ground, Bart, because, I already knew where his heart was. And I just didn't feel like I had to give all that to get him. So we got him. And then he got here and he started asking for all that again. But now he's here. And, it was a really smart move by him. It was a really smart play. Mm-hmm. And you don't like how this is
I would have
going?
moved. We would have moved back either way.
It just
so.
he wasn't going to work here. he was coming either way.
I don't know what I was going to do, but we would have been here either way.
Hey, what do you guys think Chuck is going to do on vacation? He's got a long weekend. What do you think he's doing?
Do we know where
He's on
going?
vacation. I thought he was away on assignment.
I do know where he is,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna. You know how he is.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Oh, well, yeah.
I think it'd be more fun for you guys and everyone else just to guess.
Because if I knew where he
I've
is,
got a
I
guess.
would like to think that I could figure out exactly what he was doing.
I've got a guess.
And I'm not going to confirm or deny if you nail the location.
I've got a guess. So I think he was jealous on Monday of the trip you took to Whitewater. So
Yeah.
I think he's going to a water park.
Man,
He's
You know-
going to go down some slides.
Chuck could break the internet. He could break the internet.
He's going to float around the lazy river for a couple
Can you imagine
hours.
what all these haters, what
I
kind
bet
of
I
field
bet
day,
I know where he is.
what kind of field day these haters would have if we had a video camera following, that's the only camera, following Chuck around at Whitewater. Just Chuck.
Yeah, by himself.
And
Noted man of the people.
and he's got to
Chuck Barrett.
perform. Like he's got to do all the things. He's got to do the slides.
Yeah.
He's got to make small talk with the vendors.
The wave pool.
Yeah, he's got to be in a tube in the wave pool. Yes, we would break the internet.
It'd be amazing.
We've got to do that for our 1 year anniversary. That's it. That's the plan.
It'd be amazing.
Chuck goes to Whitewater. Okay, that's one. That's a good one.
That's my only guess.
Edward, that's not how this works. We're here for 3 hours.
I'll have another one next hour and a third one the third hour.
It's 6:09.
I bet he's at a baseball
on Friday.
game. I bet he's at a baseball game.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
It's August 15th. Let me say happy birthday to Sweet Kara, an incredible human, great friend, awesome person. Jennifer Lawrence is 35 today.
Wait, to who?
Kara, my friend Kara.
Oh, okay.
My really
I
good
thought
friend,
Sweet Kara was
My
like
sweet Kara.
my
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah,
You
yeah.
said just
Incredible
Sweet
human.
Kara.
Yeah.
I thought this was some
Did I
kind of
run it
character.
together? Thank
Yeah.
you. No, well,
I was
she
very
is that.
confused.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for slowing me down. We don't want to screw this up.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to blow out some candles. Jennifer Lawrence is 35 also. Is that one clear?
Yes.
I thought she was older than that.
Ben Affleck is how old?
Let me guess, 53?
53.
I wonder how Edward knows that.
Does he have the notes?
Yeah, he looks at the notes.
Really?
I do the virtual notes.
Yeah.
I don't need a
Oh,
printout.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck and I
It's right
like
here on
having-
my screen.
We like having papers in our hand. So you already knew, and you were,
Yeah, and we've
He-
also
he
got
was humoring.
Napoleon. Napoleon's birthday.
yeah. How old would Napoleon be today?
Old.
1821?
Well, that's when he died.
When he died? Can you get back to me on that? How old would he be today? Gosh, this is going to
Well,
be.
he was
This
51
is gonna
when
be
he died in 1821.
How old?
So he was 51 when he died in
250.
1820.
What did he
Yeah.
die of?
256. Stomach disease.
How do you know that off the top of your head?
Well, he was exiled.
Stomach ulcer.
He was exiled. Remember, like that whole thing happened, and he died alone. Stomach disease. Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't know. I would
I know
genuinely
Bart
was
said
asking.
remember like
Was
it
it-
happened recently.
Was it stomach disease or COVID?
It was definitely not
Are
COVID.
you sure?
Very positive.
Cole Kubelik's on the show at 6:35 this morning. SEC Network analyst. If anybody can break down an offensive line, it's him. Played the offensive line at Auburn. I think Cole's one of the great analysts in the game today. He also does a morning show on WJOX. They don't start till 7. That's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
Year
We should have
2
thought
of
of
this
that.
show, we should move it from 7 to 10. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Sal Jacobo, I think that's how you say his name. This guy went to Rogers High School, and he plays for the Party Animals.
They're here.
And they're going to be at Baum Stadium, Baum Walker, tonight. And he's coming on the show to tell us all about it. And you know, what all
We
the
said it
things
was gonna be a party
they
today.
do are. And you're going.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to have a full report for us on the Party Animals.
That's right. So will
on-
Edward.
I'll be there
on
too.
Monday.
I'll be there too. Maybe me and Bart.
Are you
will
taking the whole family?
Well, I'm not. I'm along for the ride. Not my tickets.
Is the family going with you?
Yes, the family's going. with
Whose
me.
tickets are they?
My wife's
Okay.
Mom.
Let me get this. So,
mother-in-law.
are these the same people that took you out on the birthday party barge?
That's right.
Golly, man, you married into a great family.
It's been busy. Yeah.
It's a little too much going on. You sound like Chuck.
It's just going to be really hot
You
out there
sound like
tonight.
Chuck. He's not even looking forward to it.
No, it'll
He's
be a
like,
good
I
time.
just want to go home and have a flight by Yingling and like
Hey,
maybe hang
two,
out a little
2
bit.
hours max. That's the thing with these games is they have
that's
like
good 'cause
they have a 2-hour time limit.
We have a 1-year-old, and the game starts at his bedtime, so that we're
yeah.
going to see how that goes.
Well-
we'll probably pack the pajamas, and
Yeah.
he'll be asleep on the way home. But
Yeah.
yeah. So
You'd rather just chill. Have you figured out your dad moments to get away? Like, I'll run to the store and get that. You know, or you just
oh,
get
yeah,
that
I've done
piece
that.
in the
I've done
car.
that.
You can roll the windows down.
yeah, the commute is nice sometimes. Well, you just got to reset.
Here-
you got to get from work mode to dad family
Yeah.
mode.
Another
And
pro
so-
another pro tip. You know, let's get takeout. I'll go get it.
Oh, I do that all
I'll go
the
get
time.
it. Yeah, you just sit there and have. Yeah.
We could just DoorDash. No. I'll go.
No.
I'll go.
I need to. I need to do that. I need to move a little bit. And you go up there and he's like, take as long as you need. Can I have a flight by Yingling, please? On draft, thank you. With a lime. That's ready. Can you put it under the? Can you put it under the heat lamp? Can you put it under the heat lamp? This is a pro dad needs a minute to get away move. Also, mowing the lawn can be therapeutic. Let me give you some other tips here. Mowing the
I
lawn
like
can
mow.
be
I mow
I
like
mow the
mowing
lawn.
Yeah,
Yep.
can be therapeutic.
I like that.
I hate mowing the lawn though. I just hate it. It's not fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I
Another
like
one, Edward, you could do this one at home. You could say, hey, let's grill out tonight. And then, you're outside grilling.
Well,
That's my
am-
brother's
Just
move.
having you,
Yeah.
That's my brother.
having your moment, having your beverage or whatever it is. You just, I got the grill.
Well, I
I'm
cook
good.
all-
You
I-
guys just talk amongst yourselves in here. Get the potatoes ready.
I do
I'll be
all
on the grill.
I do all the cooking in the house. So
Yeah.
cooking at night, that's another.
Yeah.
You should get into like woodworking.
You've got
or
it figured
something
out.
like
One
that.
year in,
No, I'm
one
not
year
doing
in, you've got it
woodworking.
figured out. You're not going to go down a hobby.
I'm not
You're
doing
not picking up a hobby in the garage.
That's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Like pick up what like that way you can build a table for the house.
Your
So
wife,
you have
your
a
wife
piece of
comes down
furniture.
there and there's
I'm not
just
like- I'm not-
lumber and a saw and
why
some
not?
stuff's been cut, but nothing's ever been made.
I don't know, man.
I built a
to
garden.
help.
I built a garden bed last year.
It's just,
There you go.
yeah. All you got to do really to get into to all of that as a hobby now is just order something online.
Yeah.
You can be in the garage for weeks putting
just
that together.
watching YouTube videos on how to do it and
I think it took me like 12 hours to put that makeup vanity that Lennox wanted for Christmas.
12 hours.
Well, I mean, I didn't do it all at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe it was like 6. Maybe it was 2 days of 3 hours.
Hong Kong
But it was-
Sui says most of us just use the toilet.
That's another
That's
one.
his escape.
Now, see, I did that. Okay, I'll come clean on this. I did this when I was growing up. We didn't have a dishwasher. Okay, so like just 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Okay, maybe all the way through high school. But Sunday, you go to church, you come home, and you have the same thing for lunch every Sunday: a pot roast. And then me and my 2 sisters, I'm right in the middle. One's a couple years older, one's a couple years younger. we're supposed to wash the dishes. So you got a system. They're washing the dishes, and I was usually drying the dishes. But, you got to keep up because I forget what it's called now. Where we put the dishes in after you wash them.
Drying rack?
Yeah. But there's seems like a better name for it. But anyhow, it's not huge. It's big, but it's not like you got more dishes than you can get in there. So you got to be drying them off fast. Well, man, I'd take the Sunday paper and I just go sit in the restroom. The whole sports section. I don't even know if I would be sitting on top of the toilet. You know what I mean? Like lid down, just reading the paper. And it didn't take long for them to catch on. But what are they going to do?
Come back out. My stomach really hurts.
I feel really terrible. Just
Something about that pot roast.
Taylor Green's on the show today.
Yeah.
Reese Davis.
Let's go.
We got a big lineup for you. It's the Chuck and Bo Show without Chuck. Good morning. Happy Friday. Hey, I'm sorry if this makes too much sense. I am more than happy to hear where I'm off on this.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
This is talking season, but this has nothing to do with what I'm saying. Y'all know me. I think we've got a good football team. I think we've got a really good football team.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Cole Kubelik coming up in about 12 minutes or so. I like Cole. I think Cole's one of the great analysts. Like the way he delivers opinions, thoughts, commentary. I think you'll enjoy that. And I want to dig in on the offensive line a little bit with him. We're going to talk defensive line here in a second because Deke Adams, the D-line coach, talked yesterday. But we're going to have windows throughout the show where we only do this on the 15th of August every year, where you tell me what you really think and why. And I'm not going to argue with you. I want you to just give your opinion today. Well, it's once a year, August 15th, Kara's birthday. We do it every year, and you get to tell me whatever you think. I won't even push back. I'm not even going to bring reason and fact to the conversation. This is your chance to just spew whatever you want to say. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. And maybe you don't have that. Maybe you have a different opinion. Maybe you think, it's going to be a good year. But whatever you think about the football season, we used to do this back in the old show, Bart. We had Free for All Friday. Is that what we called it?
Wide Open Friday.
Wide Open Friday.
Yeah.
I
like
that.
Free for All better.
Yeah.
Well, we
had
alliteration. We had a
with
good.
the
We had a
Fs.
good.
There
open.
you go. Bang. Look at that.
We had a good open for the segment. We had a Wide Open Friday.
Yeah. Maybe bring that back.
Yeah. I can probably find it.
How about when Chuck's gone, we just rebrand the show that day to the old Sports Talk with Bo? Yeah, we'll just play the old
imaging.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why not?
Rejoins. I love that.
Roll in here if you want. 877-377.
We've got one guy rolling in.
6963.
He's up early.
He of course took the opportunity. Brian from Ozark is right there right now. Have a sip of coffee. We'll be right with him. Hey, I want to tell you, I saw Chuck drive away in his Silverado yesterday, and I was like, man, he's feeling it too.
Oh,
he has a bounce in his step.
He's a truck guy now.
Well, yeah, he was like, man, I don't know how I've been driving this. I like my midsize SUV, but I want a truck again. And he went to the auto park and got him a truck at Chevy at Fayetteville. They've got incredible deals on vehicles, not only Chevy, but Acura, Honda, Toyota. I love the auto park because they have a huge selection. It's one thing to try to shop online, but you can just drive around the lot there and see such a variety and get a different feel for if you don't know exactly what you want. If you do, there's a good chance they have it. And if they don't, they'll help you find it. 25 years they've been in business, built on trust, relationships, top-tier service. They got an award-winning collision department. Whether it's routine service or unexpected repairs, the Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. And they've got complimentary loaners. Check them out today and drive with confidence. Brian is in Ozark. Brian, good morning.
What's up? How are you this morning?
Brian, I'm great. I'm glad you asked. Thank you. Are you great, Brian? How are you?
I am. I'm doing great.
Happy
2 weeks of
Friday.
football.
Yeah, we got one more
Happy
empty
Friday
Saturday
to you.
here. Thank you. We should
Yeah,
spend time
well,
together.
Sure. I'm
Want
on
to
my
meet
way
up
to
and watch?
Hardee's,
You're going to Hardee's?
Yeah, I'm on my way to Hardee's to meet up with Ty and Tommy.
You're going to do the burger eating contest thing?
At
well,
this
I
hour?
owe Ty $100 from last year, and I'll give you the honest reason why I haven't paid him, and that's because, I made a bet with Ruskin and Zach 4 years ago that they also reneged on.
That
and
checks
the bet
out.
on that was back when Sam Pittman, his first year, the bet was that Kansas would have a better year than Arkansas. Arkansas went 3-7. Kansas went 4-8. The bet was Ruskin and Zach would give me 4 free dinners at Sassy's barbecue, and they never paid.
No.
So I figured, why? If they don't pay, why should I pay Ty? Well, I've had a rethought on that. I am paying Ty today.
Good for you. I knew there was some character in there somewhere.
Yeah. So, I was wrong for doing that, but, anyways, Ty's getting his money today.
Hey, it's never too late
morning.
to make a good decision, and this $100 is
you're
probably
right.
going to mean a lot to Ty.
I'm sure it will. I think he said he's donating to somebody, but, you know, it's his money, do what he wants to do. So I do want to say something. You said I can say anything I want to, and you're not going to rebuke it or whatever, right?
I did say that. I forgot about you when I said that.
Sam Pittman should be fired this year. He is ranked the 15th worst coach in the SEC by ESPN. The only one that he is considered better above is Jeff Libby of Mississippi State. You know, he's not an SEC coach. He's 30-31. My coach that I love, Steve Sarkisian, is 25-5 in 2 years. You know, so I mean, for Arkansas to have a good program, Pittman and Petrino need to go.
Okay, can I ask some questions? Since I said I wouldn't fire back at you,
Okay.
is an ESPN ranking, by someone's opinion, a thing that should be considered when making a decision on who your head coach should be?
That is ESPN. Well, it's
Just-
pretty much every analyst outside of Arkansas's opinion, yes.
Well, we're gonna have Cole and Reese Davis on today. But they're pretty big at ESPN. I don't think
Okay,
that
so
I don't
let me
think
ask
that they would say that.
Okay, let's back up one more question. Everybody that I've heard on this show would be happy if Arkansas went 8-4, 7-5 on a year-and-year basis to go to a bowl. But that statement alone, that's saying that everybody's happy for Arkansas never to play for the national title and to always be mid-level SEC to low-level
All right,
SEC,
you got
as long as they get to the bowl.
You got to say what you wanted. We got to hit a break. Cole Kubelik's coming
Okay.
up. No, here's what I will say though. I would just ask you one more question. You said Sam Pittman's not an SEC coach. Did he win 9 games as an SEC coach? Yes or no?
Yep, he did.
All right. Back in a minute on the Chuck and Bo Show. Chris in Fayetteville. You're on the news, weather, information station.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're full service, baby.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond, you're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry, it's your story.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Today's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here.
We're just
Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
My gosh, this pen is leaking all over.
Oh, that's a lonely
It's a
feeling.
brand new
I've done
pen.
that. You've been too
What
aggressive with that pen over there. Goes over manhandling this pen. It's got ink all over him.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, more money is to say that's to say the least. I mean, he had some major stuff going on, and you know, he chose us to stay here, and you know, he believes in what we're doing. He believes in what we're doing in the D-line room. And a lot of times, you know, people in this business now is become such money driven that it's all about, you know, how much this and how much that, and they really don't get a chance to know the kids that is more about than that kid than the money. And he's invested in the program, and we're invested in him, and so we're excited about the relationship we have.
That's Deke Adams, D-line coach, Arkansas. Cam Ball, I've heard several coaches talk about it now, was apparently offered quite a bit of money in the transfer portal and decided to stay at Arkansas. Not only is Cam Ball a fun guy to be around, he's a good player, great personality, but now he's winning over the hearts of Razorback fans. And it's also rare that somebody would do that. Cole Kubelik, ESPN, WJOX in Birmingham, but you'll see him all season long on television, calling games, analyzing games. Always love having him on. Cole, thanks for making time for us this morning. How rare do you think it is for guys, or how common is it for guys to turn down more money in the transfer portal when they're not even in it?
I think, Bo, that it's probably more common than we would imagine, just because the general perception of college football right now is they're all money hungry. They're all looking for the payday. They'll all bail as soon as they get $5 more than what they're being offered now. But I do think that there's some loyalty out there. I think there are guys that love their situations. I think there are guys that love their position coach or head coach or coordinator, or they love their teammates. There are actually guys that were recruited together, went to school together, and have been there a couple of years, and they don't want to leave those guys. Now, I'm not saying it's 75% of every team, but because of what the perception is nationally for most fans, and that is that these guys are just out for the next buck no matter what, I think the number's probably a little bit bigger than a lot of us would imagine, because I think there are still guys out there that want to win and love their teammates and like the situation that they're in. And there are still mature college football players. I know it sounds crazy for people to actually believe that. But there are guys that have an understanding of, this is a pretty cool place, or the people here are pretty awesome, or I love playing in this stadium, whatever it is, and they can see that, and they can understand that. Or there are guys that can see, hey, look at all these corporations that are tied to this university. If I bail, those people aren't hiring me. They don't want me to be around. They're not going to want me to come back here. So there are guys that can sort of grasp those things that are great about college football.
It's a great point. I do think that we get caught up in the headlines. And there's so many others that aren't transferring, you know? And I wonder, Cole, how you think this plays out on the field. Because this year, you know, we've been in this pay-for-play situation for a while now. But with everyone understanding the rev share and new NIL landscape was coming, a lot of teams, or there was this environment out there where people were loading up and maybe overpaying this year. And I don't know if it'll ever quite be like that again moving forward. But how do you think that plays out on the field this year? Do you think we see, you know, a Texas Tech go have an amazing season just because they spent a bunch of money? Do we see the traditional power still be there at the end?
It's such a great question, and it's something that I've gone back and forth on that I'm not sure I even have a great answer for, because I look at a team like Ohio State and how they are the poster child for what you just brought up in so many different ways. It's easy to look at Ohio State last year and say, all right, transfer center, transfer running back, a couple transfer guys that helped in different ways, but the core of that team had been at Ohio State for a long period of time. And those guys financially were taken care of. And the hard part about sort of looking at that team and saying, okay, who can be the next what they were, even if they just make a few selective, you know, portal ads, even if they're big-time great players. They also had a lot of five-star guys that had not necessarily lived up to expectations, Bo, that started living up to those expectations at the end of last year. They had flash, off, on, and all of a sudden they went on a playoff run, and they all looked like the guys that they had needed to be sort of week in, week out for the last couple of years. I think the teams that have an understanding of balance. We always talk about balance in football, and it's not just running the ball, throwing the ball. It's special teams. It's situational awareness. It's being able to win games in different ways and not having to rely on one player or one facet of your football team. I think the teams that know how to balance the roster, and in some years that might be 10 portal guys that actually have a heavy hand in what you do on the field. So other years it might be 2 or 3. Just fill a gap here and there. But the coaches that can figure out how to balance it and that can somehow keep a core nucleus together from an understanding, a leadership standpoint, a chemistry standpoint, and probably more than anything else, an expectation standpoint, I think those are the teams that are going to have a chance to all of a sudden have a great year, or all of a sudden be better than we thought they were, or like this year, as you said, extend and go win a title, because I think there are more teams that can win a national championship this year than there has been the last, 5, 8, maybe 10. Now, likely, teams we feel good putting our money on, it's not going to be 12 or 15, but I think there are probably more this year, and it's not all because Texas Tech got 5 great guys in the portal. It's because some teams that are usually great every year have lost a lot in the portal or haven't been able to replace the greatness that they had a season ago.
Cole Kubelik, SEC Network, ESPN, WJOX morning show co-host with Greg McElroy in Birmingham. Before we get into Arkansas, how's it going with Hugh Freeze at Auburn? It just seems like it's gotten toxic on social. So I don't know what that means actually in the building. You know what I mean? When we get a narrative going about a coach, like, can he coach his quarterback? I mean, we've always looked at Hugh Freeze as a great offensive mind. What are you expecting from Auburn this year?
I don't know, Bo. I would love to say that I think and truly believe it's going to be great. I think it has a chance to be. I think they very well could be. There are pieces there that could allow them to really extend and could allow them to potentially put together a special season. They have a super talented quarterback room and wide receiver room. And it's not just Jackson Arnold. You go to Stanford, you get Ashton Daniels, who if you need a guy to fill in for a series or a game, he's got good experience. He reminds me a lot of actually quarterback that folks are going to watch play football right there in Arkansas. He's not to that level, but he's a long strider with a quicker delivery that can make plays on the run. So you've added guys, and this should be the best Auburn offensive line they've had in a decade. And that's not fun for me to say because that means that those other ones haven't really been that good. I think Durkin's done a great job with the defense. They have a couple of potential stars in the making on that side of the ball. The quarterback's got to be right, though. And Hugh's got to get that. Hugh has to rewire him, and he's got to coach the bad stuff out of him and coach the good stuff into him, and that's a lot of work, and that's hard. And that doesn't just happen overnight. So there's a chance, but they're right there with like 12 other teams in the SEC or 10 other teams in the SEC that I could see winning 9 or 10, or I could see them scratching for bowl eligibility. So that's what's going to be cool about the SEC this year is that middle of the pack is going to be absolutely wild.
I think Arkansas has a chance to surprise this year, and I'll tell you why. Now, obviously, their schedule's brutal, but they've got so many new players, and if those players end up actually making a difference, they're guys that people didn't know about before, and so they're really not on the radar. But they've also got a returning quarterback, and we've got so many teams that don't have that returning quarterback, per what you were just pointing out about Auburn. But up front for Arkansas was a nightmare last year. Gave up a ton of sacks. That led to turnovers. They went out and made moves on their offensive line. As a former offensive lineman at Auburn, I know you study this. How do you think Arkansas is? Do you think they'll be improved up front for Sam Pittman?
I do. And I think part of that will be year 2 of Taylor Green and Bobby Petrino together. I think the understanding of what that offense is asking for in every situation, the ways that you can escape a pressure or a different look or bodies being overloaded in the tackle box, all of those things are going to be a little bit easier and managed more quickly. And some of those decisions are going to be made in just a better way to give you a better chance to survive. It's also Sam Pittman. And I'm never going to sit back and think that a Sam Pittman football team is going to have poor offensive line play for very long because at his core, that's what he is. He's a line of scrimmage guy. He's an offensive line coach. And I think he has that understanding of if we aren't very good here, then it's going to affect us everywhere. So I would absolutely expect it to improve. I've watched Caden Kittler play at UCF. I think he's got some good film out there. I think he can be a pretty good player. I also think that when you go get a tackle like Corey Robinson with that kind of ability, he's somebody that can maybe come in and be an upgrade. Here's the problem, Bo, is what you brought up a little bit earlier from a bigger picture perspective. Offensive line takes continuity. It takes chemistry. You have to gel. You have to understand the expectation of one another. Who needs what? Who's going to do something that maybe you're not expecting them to do? You're going to play in environments where you can't communicate, and you need to know who's going to go where and why, who needs extra help in pass protection. That takes a lot of time. When to come off double teams, how to stay engaged in double teams. Are they going to get the reps to be able to be that early? I don't know the answer to that, but that's a question for almost every team in college football right now. There's not a ton of groups that you look at up front and say they should have a ton of continuity because of who they are and what they are. And if you can find that early with the way today's roster management is, I think that puts you way ahead of the curve. And obviously Sam's going to be over there spending extra time with them. So if they get that, which I think it will be better, it's just a matter of how much, I think Arkansas can surprise some folks.
All right, Cole, before we get you out of here, just one thought on the league this year. Going into the season, I know you've been getting ready. You're about to start calling games. What's one storyline you're just kind of watching or looking forward to?
Yeah, it's easy. It's the middle of the SEC, Bo. And it's just because I think the difference between number 5 and number 12 in the SEC could literally be two teams that have played each other and who lost those games. Like, you could be talking to Arkansas fans and they finished 5th in the league, and you're sitting there like waiting for the playoff committee to announce if you're going to make it in the playoff. And you could be looking at a South Carolina team that finishes 12th in the league, and they're like, well, hold on, we weren't too different from them. We only had 2 extra losses. Both of them were the top 10 teams. How are they so much better than we are? Like, I think when you go down the list of Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Ole Miss, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Bo, Vanderbilt's not going anywhere. I mean, that was one of my bigger surprises at media days. Is everybody sitting there, well, but now it's Vanderbilt. And I'm like, hold on a second. They're not going backwards. So I think the question probably that's been harder for me to come up with on my own this offseason is who truly goes backwards in the SEC? Do I expect Ole Miss and Tennessee to have the same kind of years they did last year? No. But I don't think they're going to go back and win 5 or 6 games. But somebody's got to lose these games. So the middle of the SEC is going to be polarizing, to say the least.
That's a great word, and it's going to be fun to watch. Cole, always great, man. Tell Greg hello. Y'all have a great show today. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Anytime, Bo.
Appreciate you, man. Cole Kubelek, ESPN SEC Network, WJOX, co-host with Greg McElroy in Birmingham, and kind enough to hop on with us this morning. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank. A lot of good nuggets in there. First Security Bank, helping you bank better every day. More convenient locations all over Arkansas. Arkansas people helping you bank better with all your banking needs, whatever they are. FSbank.com. You can check them out online. First Security Bank, member FDIC. Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call. There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, it was one of the great non-marriage times of my life, I'll tell you that. To meet Chuck Berry, the only thing that's even close to is meeting Bo.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, one more empty Saturday, and then you get to enjoy games with a Flight by Yuengling. 95 calories, tastes like a Yuengling, but it is a superior light beer. It is the next generation of light beer. Flight by Yuengling. Ask for it on draft at your favorite restaurants, including Walk-Ons. Heath is in Cabot. Heath, it's Friday. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Chuck is on assignment, a.k.a. a mini vacation.
Good morning, Bo. Yes, happy Friday. It's a fantastic day. I just wanted to address the caller previously before the guest you had on. Great guest, by the way. I got to say, listen, Pittman's in the SEC. He's been there for how many years? This will be his 5th year?
Yes. 6. He's going to his 6th year.
He's an SEC coach. He's an SEC coach for sure. I mean, he may not be a very good one, but he's definitely coaching in the SEC. So I will say this, though. Those super seniors that got that extra year for COVID probably had a lot to do with him winning 9 games. But I got to say, look, he's been there, and he's only missed 1 year from going to a bowl. So he's doing his job. He's getting the program to a bowl game, and I think they have a winning record in those bowl games. But I mean, I feel like he's doing his job. That's what he's supposed to do. Any Arkansas fan that thinks Arkansas is going to win 9-10 games a year, it's just wishful thinking. I mean, since 2006, they've only got 3 10-plus win seasons. So Arkansas getting to a bowl game, winning that bowl game, that's a good season. I mean, I'm not understanding, like, you know, I mean, Pittman may be 30-31 as a whole, but I feel like he's doing his job. I mean, I don't understand all this firing talk.
I hear you.
And, I mean,
we got to hit the top of the hour break. I hear you, and I think the distinction there is good doesn't mean that's where you're trying to get to.
As a play-by-play announcer, my eyes are everything. I need to see every detail on the field to call the game the right way. So when cataracts started affecting my vision, I knew I couldn't wait. I went to Dr. Betts and the team at McDonald Eye Associates. And truthfully, I wish I'd done it years ago. The difference is incredible. The whole experience was professional, easy, and honestly life-changing. If your vision's holding you back, take it from me. Don't put it off any longer. Schedule your appointment with McDonald Eye Associates today.
At the Stonebreaker Hotel, we believe in the art of gathering, whether over a thoughtfully prepared meal or a quiet moment on Markham Hill. Start your day with breakfast classics from the all-day menu, served from 7:30 to 1. Savor shareable bites from the bar and lounge menu until 10. And let the dinner menu from 5 to 9 bring familiar flavors with a fresh twist. And for a weekend well spent, how about brunch? Rooted in connection, designed for comfort. Learn more at stonebreakerhotel.com.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Summer storms and heavy rains can sneak up fast, so make sure your gutters are ready to handle it all. Hog Trough Gutters, locally owned and operated with 30 years of experience, installs seamless gutters made on site to protect your home. They're fully licensed and insured. Every job is hydro tested, and each one comes with a 20-year warranty. Proudly serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. Schedule your free inspection today at hoggutters.com.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
For those of you under 30, sorry, but we're talking about what
talking about
talk
old man
radio
stuff.
used to be on.
We're talking
which
like
was
your
just
dad.
AM radio.
That's right.
That was
Never heard.
exclusively talk radio. FM was for music. AM was for talk radio. The thing about AM radio is all you need is power. But there are some big cities that's still what talk radio is.
I know.
on.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
but that's the only time I ever even think about an AM station. But if things go south here, we're going to be on
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Oh, yeah, we're talking football. We got a lot of stuff to get into, and we're going to get back to that. As Deke Adams met with the media yesterday, that makes 10 of 10 pretty much on the coaching staff that have said they really feel good about their position, and many of them think that their position group's better than it was a year ago. Now, what does all that lead to? I don't know, but it's a good thing to hear in August. And, yeah, coaches don't generally come out and say, my team's not any good, but they don't really have a reason to offer up that they feel like they're better unless they actually feel that way. And so I'm anxious to see what that turns into when they actually start playing. But it also, to me, just generates interesting conversation at this point in the preseason. 7:03, it's Friday morning. Tonight at 6:30 at Baum Walker Stadium, we're going to have a first. The Party Animals, a team associated with the Savannah Bananas, playing the Texas Tailgaters in a brand of baseball that you've probably never seen in person before. And here to talk about it is one of the players from the Party Animals, Sal Jacobo. Sal is a Northwest Arkansas native. He played at Rogers High School. Sal, good morning. Welcome to the Chuck and Bo Show. No Chuck today. You just got Bo. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great.
So you grew up in Rogers.
Yes, sir.
All right. You played at Rogers High School.
I did.
How did you become a party animal?
What was I can give a lot of my credit to my college coach over at Southwest Baptist up north of Springfield, Missouri.
Okay.
I was volunteer coaching for him, just finishing up school. Was completely done with ball in May of 24, and he comes up to me one day in September and just goes, "Hey, you still have an itch to play?" I go, "Of course." And he tells me, he goes, "The Savannah Bananas." And as soon as the Savannah Bananas comes out of his mouth, I was immediately ready to say yes. But he says the Savannah Bananas are holding a tryout in Kansas City in October, and I want to recommend you to go try out for them.
How about that?
And yeah,
Okay.
had about 3 weeks to prepare and got back in shape, and then just went and crushed it. Got signed a month later in November.
Okay, I want to know what a tryout for the Savannah Bananas looks like, but I want to, before we go there, let's back up a little bit and zoom out. So for someone who hasn't seen the Savannah Bananas or the Party Animals, and by the way, there's a series on ESPN Plus, there's games that are airing live on ESPN. This has turned into sort of a summer phenomenon in minor league baseball that has taken quite a twist. But give us a summary. When people ask you, what is this? What is this brand of baseball? What is it all about? What can people expect to see?
Just to put it in like one word, chaos. Our games are fast-paced. There's something going on pretty much the entire time. But the biggest thing, it's the name of the company, is Fans First Entertainment. And that's why it's also entertainment. A lot of it has to do with more entertainment, but there's also good baseball to be watched. So there is that controversy of, is this ruining the game of baseball? Personally, I don't think so, but I just think it adds a little bit more level of fun, but also a level of difficulty with, you add in these trick plays. A lot of our infielders, outfielders, catchers, pitchers, like every single defensive position is expected to do some sort of trick pitch, trick play, trick catch. I mean, we got dudes from doing backflip catches to bouncing the ball between their legs like it's a basketball, to just anything you can think of. I mean, we're only at the beginning, and I can't even begin to imagine what we can do later on. But just overall, it's just a game that we put the fans first, because there's a big stigma around baseball now that baseball is becoming a bit boring. And we're just bringing the fun back to baseball, like we're just out here, we're just a bunch of guys just having fun, dancing around, interacting with these fans, and just creating these good, what we like to call fans first moments with these kids and teenagers, just whoever, and just making it a special time for them.
What position? Are you playing shortstop?
Yes, I'll be playing shortstop for both games.
Okay. And I saw a play on social media. I think it was your Instagram. Sal Jacobo with us, former Rogers High School player, played in college, now playing for the Party Animals, where you were in Baton Rouge at Alex Box Stadium, and you basically recreated fielding a ground ball the way that a former LSU player had done, and then they matched it up in this video. Was that planned?
That was not planned. That just, I just made a good play on a ball. Shout out to Zach Watson, former LSU, now Texas tailgater, hitting that ground ball. And yeah, I just made a good play on that ball. And I went back home, looked at the play, and I was like, this looks a lot like that one play Alex Bregman made when he was at LSU during the College World Series.
You can go to his Instagram page, Sal, S-A-L, and then last name is spelled J-A-C-O-B-O. If you want to go find this. So there's some cool stuff on there, and you get to know more about Sal. Okay, now go back to the tryout. Here's what's interesting. One of the interesting things to me is you guys aren't playing, in the big leagues. You're not playing AAA baseball, but you're really talented, or you wouldn't be able to do this, and you're adding in all these trick elements to it. So when you go try out for this Savannah Bananas organization, what did you have to do that was different than a regular tryout?
So for the most part, it was somewhat regular, but obviously we can't start off a Savannah Bananas tryout just with a regular dynamic warm-up. So, of course, we learned the famous tradition that the Bananas do, and that is the Hey Baby dance. That was our dynamic warm-up. Very first thing we did, every single player at that tryout warmed up with learning the Hey Baby dance. And they kind of evaluated us, just seeing like your energy and how kind of bought in you're into trying for this tryout. And so, yeah, like we did that. And then immediately we warmed up like a normal baseball team. And we took ground balls, and they just said, yeah, just start ripping trick plays. I mean, like they don't really care how much you miss them, because they know a lot of these guys have not played banana ball before, but they want to see your creativity and your willingness to try. Luckily, just that day, something clicked in me, and I hit every single trick play, and so it was just it felt great. It was a lot of fun, and then went into batting practice. I mean, can't get much tricky stuff with batting practice, but at the end of our last round, they had us see what our best bat flip was. So that was a little different too.
Yeah,
that's a little bit controversial in the baseball world nowadays.
Yeah, well,
they really encourage it here.
This is a different deal. I mean, like, to me, you can't compare this in terms of like being critical about it to going out and you're playing in a more serious environment. I mean, this is built for entertainment, which I love. And I think it's brilliant. Yeah. I think it's one of the most brilliant things that's happened in sports in a long time. I mean, this is almost Globetrotter-esque for baseball. Mm-hmm. When you said trick plays, like defensively, what are some of your trick plays?
For me, I got a signature. I still have to do in game, but it's like think of it like think of it more like basketball. It's an in and out with the ball in my glove hand. It's an in and out. Between the legs bounce, and then I'll catch it behind my back and then bounce it again behind my back. and then grab it, throw it across. Hoping to pull that off this weekend. But
how? That's wild.
It's just
okay. Well, we'll be looking for that tonight.
Yeah.
When you guys get going at Baum Walker Stadium, these crowds that you're drawing, are you surprised by how big these crowds are?
I mean, I knew last year they played in front of 1 million fans, I think, and then this year it will be 2 million by the end of the year. So, yeah, I knew it was going to be big crowds, sold out crowds, because I'd seen a few of their games towards the back half of their season last year. But I mean, I just went from playing in front of maybe 50 people to my first game was 15,000 in Mesa, Arizona, and that was unbelievable. So yeah, it's really hard to believe, and to say that I played in front of 81,000, which was in Clemson and Death Valley earlier in April, is just crazy. It's
That
crazy
is,
to say.
man, that is crazy. Expected to be a full house tonight at Baum Walker Stadium.
Oh yeah,
Sal, let me ask you this: as far as playing the game, like pitching and hitting, I mean, is it like? Are they trying to strike you out? Are we trying to like at least keep the ball in play? I mean, what is there a script to this? How's the game played outside of the tricks and the weird rules?
Yeah, definitely not scripted. Currently, the Party Animals are leading the tour in a record of, I think, 37-20 or 22, something like that. Which, if it was scripted, obviously the Bananas, who are the name of the sport, would probably be the top team. But yeah, no, we go out here. Everyone's trying to. I mean, it's hard not to be competitive with baseball. Everyone's trying to win. And yeah, just we are out there to win ball games. And yes, pitchers are trying to strike you out. I mean, there's like records called their strikeout records. I think the fastest somebody's gotten struck out this year has been around 12 seconds, 14 seconds. And then also pitchers will try to get there's a stat that's unique in banana ball called MPI, and that's minutes per inning. And I think right now the leader is Zach Phillips for the Bananas, and it's around 1 minute, 10 seconds. So that's averaging how quick he gets done in his inning, which is insane.
So, okay, give us, before I let you go, just a couple of weird rules. Like if a fan catches a foul ball, is the guy out? Is that one of them?
Yes. Yes, and I have unfortunately been a victim of that in Miami earlier this year. 2 straight at-bats, fan caught foul out.
Wow.
It's a pretty brutal rule, but it can help you and it can hurt you in different ways. I mean, if you're the home team or if you're on defense and maybe it's a big spot, we've had a few game-ending fan caught foul outs, which aren't fun if you're the losing end on that side, but super cool to see that fans get an opportunity to make an impact in a game. So, yeah, that's one of my favorite rules for sure.
That's cool. All right, so tonight at Baum Walker Stadium, the gates actually pregame plaza opens at 3:30, player appearances at 3:30, pre-party live at 4:30, gates open at 5:30, and the show, they don't call it the show starts at 6:30 with the tour leading Party Animals taking on the Texas Tailgaters. And that's Sal Jacobo, who played high school baseball at Rogers. He'll be playing shortstop for the Party Animals tonight. If you're going out, now you know who you're looking for. Go say hi to Sal before the game. And it sounds like a lot of fun. Man, thanks for waking up early with us and doing this. It's a great perspective. You guys are wildly entertaining, and it's fun to watch.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
All right, man. All the best to you. Good luck. That's just fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think
really
seeing it on
seeing
TV
it
is interesting, but being there is just a whole different environment. It's it's such a novelty kind of concept that going and doing it once, kind of like the Globetrotters, is every bit worth it, in my opinion. Bart's going to be there. Edward's going to be there tonight, and we'll have a full recap on Monday. Take notes. I want to hear about it. You got to remember this. Going to Blakeman's Fine Jewelry is a show too. They're the official jeweler of the Chuck and Bo Show and the Arkansas Razorbacks. And if you haven't seen that newly renovated 8,500 square feet showroom with all the private rooms and the different brands and the timepieces and the Cafe B Onyx Coffee Lab right there in Blakeman's, you can have a glass of Prosecco, and really just the shopping experience is unlike anything else around here. But beyond that, Blakeman's really is about helping you mark your milestones, tell your story, and remember your journey along the way. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Pinnacle Hills, Rogers, Arkansas. It's where Arkansas gets engaged. If you need an emergency contact, just write the Chuck and Bo Show. We'll be your emergency contact.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeickerGriffin.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Why deal with the stress of commercial travel when you can fly on your schedule with Jet Aircraft? No TSA lines, no baggage claim, no waiting around. Just you and your crew flying in comfort and style. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a golf trip, or planning your football travel for the fall, Jet makes it easy. Seats up to 9 with a full bar, custom catering, and plenty of space. Visit Jet NWA for pricing and more. That's Jet with 2 T's.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
That's special.
think you're on anybody's pickup list at school?
No.
Chuck Barrett able to pick up my kid?
No, that I doubt that.
I'm gonna write you in.
All right, good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Thinking about going to a road game? Want to fly private? You can do it with Jet Aircraft. There's a lot of other reasons people fly private as well, but man, you might want to get in and out same day, get some friends together, split up the costs. But at Jet Aircraft, there are a lot of private aircraft companies that you can work with. You know, you hear about the national ones, but with Jet, you're more than just a number. I mean, they're all about customer care and service. You're not going to get stranded if your planes change or if your plans change. You got to stay an extra night, for example. No blackout dates. You get a Jet card, you're not going to be surprised. Oh, no, we're not available at this time, and that can happen with other airlines. No surprise fees or hidden costs. When you get a quote, make sure all the fees are in there. Jet's going to do that. Emergency pickups or something they've done. I mean, it's all about the relationship, and that's the people that we work with here on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good people doing good business and taking care of you in the best way possible. So if you want to just have a weekend away, or you got to travel a lot privately, ask about their Jet card and all the perks and benefits that come with that. JetNWA.com. That's Jet with 2 T's. 877-377-6963. We're squeezing some calls in, some text in between interviews. We've got a lot of great guests today. We've already heard from 2 of them. Cole Kubelik, and we just talked to the shortstop for the Party Animals, who will be at Baum-Walker Stadium tonight. Taylen Green's coming up in about 8 minutes. Reese Davis at 8 o'clock.
What a day.
College game day host. I told you it was going to be a party. Edward's wife's bringing breakfast later. I mean, you know, Chuck steps out, and we unsupervised. You don't know what's going to happen around here. Ryan in Hot Springs, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Hey, buddy. You know, y'all were talking about optimism so much the other day, and you know, one thing I'm so optimistic about is I think Pittman knows, maybe not necessarily from with Hunter, but I know he knows his job's on the hot seat with the fans, and I know he's got to do what he can to win the fans back this season. Because you know, there's a lot of fans are out on him, and, you know, they're just kind of going through the motions, but. You know, one thing that I like to say this, you know, I don't think he gets enough credit for all the gas that he's had. You know, he's dialed up some really big plays for this program to either get us back in a game or put the game back in reach. And, you know, it goes anywhere from, you know, what he did with Devin Bell with the fake punt, or slipping Kern out of the line for that big play against Alabama, or Jake Bates onside kick against Alabama. You know, I don't think he gets enough credit for that, and I just wanted to put that out there ahead of the season, and I can't wait to see what he dials up this year.
All right, man. I appreciate the call, Ryan. Thank you. I do think people we get lazy, and I'm not casting stones because I know we all do it in different areas, but this is the one we kind of focus on. And when it comes to talking about the season or how you think things are going to go, I think we just tend to get a little bit lazy. And if you've got things that you remember that didn't go well, maybe we focus on that. But, you know, all these teams, they work in the off season to go improve. And it sounds like Arkansas has improved. It looks like when I go see them at practice, they have improved. It is logical to me to think that Taylen and Bobby Petrino in year 2 with a retooled offensive line could and should be a lot better. I like the receivers they have. I like the running back they got. If you go over and talk about defense, they got, I mean, a really good linebacking core. How's the defensive line going to retool? But I feel like from what you see and hear, that's going to be solid. And they got taller DBs. I mean, these are all things that are good. I don't know about special teams. I don't know how the kicking game is really going to be. But I think they have a chance to go out and maybe surprise some people. We'll see what happens. John Daly II has gotten better. JD, too, you know, we haven't really dug in on his career a ton, but he's gotten better in the last year from everyone that is around that golf program. That's what they'll tell you. And he's in the final 8. He's in the quarterfinals, Bart, of the U.S. Amateur?
Yeah, at the Olympic Club. Final 8, quarterfinals today. If he wins today, he'll be in the semifinals tomorrow, and then the championship match is 36 holes on Sunday. He's taking on Mason Howell from Thomasville, Georgia, at 4 o'clock Central Time. 2 o'clock out there.
Keep an eye on that over the weekend.
It'll be on
Hopefully
Golf
he makes
Channel.
the final. This is the deepest end of the U.S. Amateur any Razorback has ever made it. Tail and Green coming up next.
You can tell I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more, they carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Know what else makes you an Arkansas Razorback fan? Going to the University of Arkansas. How about playing football for the team?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think it's an outstanding schedule. With that, everybody, that gives the University of Arkansas one hell of an opportunity. And we've got a good football team, too. They have to play Arkansas, too, now.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Taylor Green's the Arkansas quarterback. Threw for 3,700 yards last year. A little more than that, 40 yards shy of the school record of total offense. I should say total offense was 3,700 yards. 23 touchdowns. Again, second in school history with the yardage number, and he's back for another year under Bobby Petrino. Taylor, great to have you back on the Chuck and Bo Show. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm good. It feels like a long time ago when you first got here, and we were running around shooting some stuff with you, and I was getting to know you a little bit. It's been fun to just kind of watch you grow. Now you're engaged. What's that feel? You're walking around as an engaged man. What's that like?
Oh, it's a great feeling. I'm just excited, to, propose in my off season and with her fam and my fam together. So it's a really great feeling.
After your first season concluded at Arkansas, did you consider whether coming back was the right decision? And if so, how did you arrive at the decision to come back with Coach Petrino and Coach Pittman for another year?
I really didn't have any question. I was going to leave or going to declare for the draft or anything. I knew I was going to come back. I had a feeling of unfinished business, and I was excited for another opportunity, another year to be under Coach Petrino. And that was one of the biggest things too. That was my first year in college. I was the same OC coming back, so that was a really big thing for me. And with Coach Pitt and his belief in me, that's what and of course prayer ultimately led me to, and of course my parents led me to come back. But it was definitely a no-brainer.
We've talked a lot about what it could look like year two and how much more comfortable you could be year two with Coach Petrino in this offense. I want to go back to last year for a second. How challenging was it last year for you? And you weren't healthy from the Tennessee game on. I mean, numbers been like maybe 60, 65% of playing on that knee. How challenging was it year one with your first year in the SEC and learning a new offense and not being completely healthy? What'd that look like for you?
It was definitely different. It was mentally and, like you said, physically challenging. I felt like a freshman again, just learning, of course, the offense, but learning the SEC and the atmosphere that comes with it. Just playing those crazy environments and playing against the best of the best, and that's what I learned, and that's what I've learned into the off season to what to prepare for. That's another reason why I came to Arkansas to play with the best and play against the best, and that's the thing I'm looking forward to this year, and just another off season under Coach Petrino, and especially with fall camp. Got some things to clean up from last year, but I believe I have the best coach in the country to do that, and I'm just excited to do it.
Taylor Green, Arkansas quarterback with us. Okay, so you got a retooled offensive line, and you got a bunch of new receivers. You got a new running back, along with Braylon Russell and Rodney Hill. But tell me what you're seeing with this. So you know the offense better now. How's it going with the rest of the guys, and how's that coming together with you in fall camp?
It's going really well. First the coaches are getting us all the, of course, the Coach Petrino, but all the assistant coaches and the GAs and the analysts are getting us ready. Each and every practice, because we have a lot to install. You heard the playbook is very complicated, but there's a lot that goes into it. But they're helping us, not simplify it, but making it easier to understand. And with the walkthroughs and the practices, they're playing fast. And the thing I see is just the versatility and the home run hitting ability, not just from the receivers, but everywhere on the field. You got the receivers, the tight ends, and the running backs that can score on in any route or in any position in the field. And of course, the O-line is doing a great job of giving me time and making really big holes for the running backs to make those plays. So it's definitely I can see all 11, doing their job, and our job is to score every single time we get the ball, and that's the mentality. Coach Petrino has us on. That's what we believe. We had a backed up situation yesterday, and everybody's like yelling out 99-yard drive, 99-yard drive. Just hearing that, I didn't have to say that. Everybody's yelling that in the huddle. So that's what the belief. That's from this, not just from the O-line, but from everyone. So it makes my job easier.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, protection gives you confidence. The lack of protection is not so much. What is the biggest difference for you, year one to year two, in this offense? How would you sum up, like, the way you feel right now versus being in it last year?
Kind of like, first, I know or have an idea of what to expect, not coming into the SEC to not knowing. I can actually, look at myself from last year's film. But at the same time, having having an offensive line and tight ends and running backs that I can trust, to protect. And like I said a couple of days ago, their care factor is tremendous. And they'll know exactly the play that they mess up on, and they'll talk to me about it either after the play or after practice. And, Junior, it was about 2-3 days ago. He messed up on a play, and we're 5 minutes off the field. We're in the locker room, and he's already watching film on how he can get better. And he's hard on himself, but just seeing that and seeing his intentionality and seeing everybody's intentionality with it, that's what I love to see.
We hear a little noise in the background. Are you in the locker room? Where are you right now?
Oh no, we're eating breakfast right now.
Oh, you're in the facility eating breakfast.
Yeah.
What's for breakfast this morning? What are we having?
I got some oatmeal with some strawberries, bananas, and some grapes. Like a quarter of a muffin, hash browns, and turkey sauce.
I don't hear any bacon.
Can't forget the water. Nah, I try to stay away from the pork unless it's like barbecue.
Okay.
Barbecue, I'm gonna eat that pork for sure.
So the word on the street is you put some weight on. Is that from eating Big Macs late at night, or is this good weight?
Oh no, it's definitely good weight. I have a great nutrition staff with Miss Brooks. She put me on. I was in breakfast shakes every single day. I was not happy about it at all, but I needed it, and I'm grateful for it. And I have a great strength staff, and putting me through the grind of not just the summer, but the winter and the spring and the summer. And those are the key things, and even eating before I go to sleep, and taking care of my body, drinking water. So I got a water right next to me. So those are things that I've learned that because it's a long season, especially in this conference and the physicality. I got to take care of my body.
All right, I'm going to get you out of here with this. I think you guys have a chance to be better. I've been to a little bit of practice, and I've heard the coaches talk, and I've seen some of the players that you've brought in, and we've talked about your experience in year two. You tell me, though, why this team is going to be better this year, if you believe that.
Just every single day. You hear all the time, take it day by day. But, truly this team, really does. And we have long days and short nights, I like to call it. But you'll never hear anybody complaining. You'll never see anybody complaining. It's all full speed, even when we're tired. And just our pride that we have, not just for the name in the back of our jersey, but the name on the front of our jersey too. And just what the Hog, means to us, and what the Hog means to this state. That's what we truly take pride in ourselves in.
Well, Talon, good luck, man. Congratulations on your engagement. Good luck with the season. Continued success to you and health. We appreciate you coming on, man. We look forward to watching you play.
Thank you. Go Hogs. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man. We'll see you soon. Appreciate it. Taylor Green with us on the Chuck and Bo Show from breakfast.
How about that?
You got to get it in when you can get it in. I mean, they do have a busy schedule. Kind of him to join us.
I personally would have liked some bacon, but you know,
I mean,
that's just me.
I mean, to me, that you can't have a healthy breakfast without it.
Our breakfast will be here momentarily.
Yeah, and that's not healthy. It's going to be from Chick-fil-A. There's going to be no bacon. You know,
We could have gotten bacon. Why didn't you request
well, because I didn't. I don't. When I think of bacon, I don't think of Chick-fil-A.
Well,
we
that's
need to go.
fine.
We need to go to some. We need somewhere else. I thought with Chuck being out, we were going to do brunch today. Mimosas.
We can. Why can't we?
You know, maybe a couple of poached eggs and some bacon. That's all I need.
I'll pass on the poached.
Maybe a little fruit. I mean, I'll go healthy. You know, but to me, bacon is healthy.
Protein.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sodium.
Yeah. A lot of it.
All sorts of it.
Yeah. And then, of course, Prosecco.
Yeah.
Or a mimosa.
Yeah. Which that has orange juice.
Yeah. And if they're out, we can just go straight to the tequila. Do a tequila sunrise. That's what I had in mind. But I mean, I'll do Chick-fil-A. I'm not mad about it.
Well, I'd hope not.
Hannah, if you're listening, we really are grateful for you running by Chick-fil-A for some breakfast this morning. Hey, listen, if you are you find yourself in a jam, that's what's really going on with Chuck. You want to know the truth? He had to go serve 48 hours.
Oh.
Not really. If you find yourself
Tough
in a
scene.
jam,
Tough scene.
Yeah, prison rules. If you're struggling, maybe with someone's not paying you what they were supposed to, like Social Security, disability, or you got just financial issues. Maybe you're needing bankruptcy help. I mean, look, these things happen, and you don't have to do it by yourself. There is a team that will fight for Arkansans. Bill Reynolds and the attorneys at Cadell Reynolds, they know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's a car wreck, denied disability claim, filing for bankruptcy, they've got your back. Don't face it alone. Call Cadell Reynolds at 866-314-3728, or you can visit CadellReynolds.com for a free consultation. Cadell Reynolds, make the right call. 7:45 Friday. Good morning. Everybody's welcome to their opinion. That's just flat out wrong.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Bo. And for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
My goals is to take Chuck out and make him uncomfortable in public settings.
You're
Just get
assuming
him-
you haven't.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
John Daly the second in the quarterfinals of the U.S. Amateur. It's as far as any or further than any Razorback has made it. So good luck to him this weekend. If he makes it to the final, it'll be 36 holes on Sunday. So be watching for that. It'll be something to watch on TV over the weekend. What to Watch is brought to you by Macadoodles. 15% off every bottle of wine on Wednesdays. The best customer service you can get anywhere. And they've been serving customers for 28 years. Also, they got a feature of great microbrews, craft beer. They've got a loyalty points program that more than 20,000 customers are already enjoying the rewards of. Competitive pricing on all products. And Friday through Sunday, enjoy the tasting bar with a variety of spirits, including bourbons and whiskeys. Macadoodles, just north of the state line, north of Bella Vista. And guess who? In Bentonville. You can watch the U.S. Amateur this weekend. We've also got preseason NFL games tonight. Go to Walk-Ons and check that out. But when you're planning your next party, go to Macadoodles and you can get all your stuff there. Charlie's in Camden. Charlie, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
All right. I don't know how crappy my connection is. Can y'all hear me?
You're good. Fire away.
All right. Well, I wanted to touch on T. Will a little bit. And, I know last year, as far as our pass defense, rankings say we weren't as good as we should have been. Look, I get it. Like, yards are a big thing. But I wanted to ask you guys something. A lot of people put a lot of, they talk about yards as if that's the most important thing. And I always try to remind people for defense, like, to me, it's, between the 20s, like, dude, okay, you in today's game, you might give up some yards. But I've always argued that points and takeaways are the biggest thing. Like, you got to find a way to, hold people to 3. You got to find a way to, not let people get in the end zone. And that's the big thing. And I think last year's team, what were they, Bo? They gave up a lot of big plays. I know particularly in the Ole Miss game, I think Chuck could have threw for 400 yards.
Yeah, I mean, they torched the
and
secondary.
you could have.
Yeah. They had a problem in the secondary last year.
And that's true. They did, but I do want to say this. I don't want to put it all in the secondary.
You got to get to the quarterback.
Yes, and I remember that game, and if I remember correctly, they tried a lot of ways to get to the quarterback. It wasn't just like they were sitting back. They were bringing pressure. It's just Ole Miss had an answer for everything, and I think that receiver that went for like 500 yards in that game should have won the Heisman off that game, but it was insane. But I just wonder with this team, at the end of the day, the idea of being able to blitz when you want to compared to being the blitz when you have to because you can't get pressure, do you think that hurts the team in a sense? And anyways, I'll hang up and y'all go.
Yeah, I mean, you're not good enough to get pressure with your front 3 or 4, particularly with 4. And you got to do all kinds of things to try to get pressure on a quarterback. I mean, look, you're going to have some of those games, but if that's routine, it just creates problems. I know they went out. Look, I think they tried to address all those needs. Are they going to be able to? Is that going to show up on the field? They got a pass rusher from Florida. They think is going to be great. He was a 4-star. Went to Florida, played there, but also was hurt a bunch and whatever. Well, what's he end up being here at Arkansas? I mean, Xavier Sori was that guy at Georgia. Came to Arkansas. He's a great linebacker here. They went out and got the guys. Well, the guys end up being what they thought. Reese Davis, ESPN, coming up in about 6 minutes.
All right, guys, you hear us talk about the Sweat and Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show. You've got your summer lineup set, but what about your skincare? Sun, sweat, and all that time outside takes a toll. Hit up the spa at Sweatnum Cosmetic Surgery for a facial or sun damage repair. It's not just for the ladies, guys. Call 479-966-4174. Again, that's 479-966-4174 and get your skin in the game.
As a play-by-play announcer, my eyes are everything. I need to see every detail on the field to call the game the right way. So when cataracts started affecting my vision, I knew I couldn't wait. I went to Dr. Betts and the team at McDonald Eye Associates. And truthfully, I wish I'd done it years ago. The difference is incredible. The whole experience was professional, easy, and honestly life-changing. If your vision's holding you back, take it from me. Don't put it off any longer. Schedule your appointment with McDonald Eye Associates today.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life, too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
We were 0-5. They put us all in the coffin. They just didn't put the nails in.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Would you like to go on a float trip with me this weekend?
No.
That would be a great way to
You
cap
and I
off
would,
summer.
if we were to go on a float trip together, we might not be as close of friends when we got back. I've been on float trips with people I care about. There's generally a fight at some point. I mean, there's going to be a fight.
Well, I think what would have to happen is we would have to be in our own kayaks for this to work.
Maybe different rivers, too.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Man, we got one more empty Saturday. Just one more. 2 for Arkansas, but one more empty Saturday with no college football. And when we do get football back, our routine will begin on Saturday mornings with College Game Day. And now joining us, the host of College Game Day since 2015, Reese Davis and ESPN. Reese, good morning. Are you ready to go?
We're getting there, Bo. I don't want the great Lee Corso. I remember a few years ago I was calling him about this time of year, and I said, well, LC can't wait. And he said, sweetheart, don't wish it away. So I'm very eager to see it. We're always all excited about football season, but hey, let's soak up these last few days of summer also.
Absolutely. I want to talk about Lee for a second. We're going to have one more Lee Corso headgear prediction. And I just want to give you an opportunity to talk about your relationship and what Lee has meant to College Game Day.
He's meant everything to College Game Day. There's no way that this show survives or flourishes to the level that it has without Lee Corso. I think he really changed the way people consumed and accepted some irreverence and humor and spontaneity in terms of covering college football. Now, look, Beano Cook before him was a pretty irreverent guy, but LC sort of, and a great guy, by the way, and an icon. But LC elevated the art form, and he connected with the crowd, and he let the fans know it was okay to be as zany as they are because he was. And he's also he was a terrific coach. He's a terrific teammate, and he was a great friend and still is a great friend to me. I've put it this way a lot of times. He worked with Fowler for a really long time, 25 years. I think it would have been pretty easy, despite the fact that I'd been in the studio covering college football for 16 years prior to taking over Game Day. I've been at ESPN for 20 years, so I wasn't some young buck. But even so, it still would have been very easy for Lee to say, "Oh, well, okay, this has changed. I'm the cornerstone of College Game Day, and I don't like change. So let's wait and see how this works out." And no, not at all. Not for 1 second. It was, "Hey, okay, Reese Davis. All right, here we go, sweetheart. We're going to kill him." And every week it was always, "We're going to kill him." And the thing, I'll miss a ton, Bo, about him not being there every week. But the thing I think I will miss the most is coming down on Friday mornings to go over for the production meeting. LC standing there with his briefcase and his cup of coffee, waiting on his ride, and said, "How's your family? Well, my daughter's an actress. What's the actress doing? Has she got a Broadway part yet? My son's a professional baseball player. How's the baseball going?" He remembered things, and he always wanted to sincerely know about your family, and he was also committed to the good of the show.
Yeah, it's been so fun to watch over the years, and College Game Day has just been such a staple of the football season and our Saturday mornings beginning, and it continues to evolve. And before we get into the season a little bit, I think people might find it a little interesting just to kind of hear what your day's like on a College Game Day, how early you get going, what it's like just kind of getting everyone together and then trying to manage the chaos of the personalities that can go rogue at any moment on that show.
Well, We'll work backwards on that. I think, first of all, I think you want to let them go rogue, but maintain some level of control. I used to bristle at this, Bo, but in a lot of ways, you're like the dad. Hopefully, the fun dad. You know, and you don't want to stifle. You don't want to stifle the. I just thought of a Phil Dunphy quote. I love Modern Family. You know, I'm the fun dad. I know all the lyrics to the songs from High School Musical. But anyway, you know, you want to give them. You don't want to do anything that would get in the way of the brilliance of the spontaneity of someone like Pat McAfee. There's no reason to harness Nick Saban, and obviously Kirk and Desmond are, you know, cornerstones and unbelievable commodities. But you want to run the show, and you need to run the show. That's why you're there, and you're also there to challenge them, to inject some opinion of your own when it's appropriate, and you know, to sort of set the stage for the whole thing. So it's really fun, because the good thing about all of those guys is that they are tremendous teammates and have respect for one another, and they want everyone to flourish. And so that makes that part of it pretty easy. Sometimes, you know, if you have to end a discussion because you've had enough, that you think your gut tells you it's run its course, and they still have, you know, things they want to say, you might have to step in and do that. Or sometimes it's you're just helping the producer, and he's like, I'm going to miss the top of the hour break. I can't, you know, you've got to get me out of here. And so you have to do that. So there's some of that aspect to it. As far as when I get there, I try to get there roughly 2.5 hours before kickoff, meaning kickoff of the show.
Yeah.
So we're on Eastern time. I try to arrive at 6:30. I used to get there even earlier, and found that after a while you're just sort of sitting there because the preparation's done. I do like to arrive before everyone else gets there, just the producers, me, you know, some of our staff, a little quieter, a little less chaotic, go over the final things. I usually go out and greet the early arrivers from the students, and maybe bring them some donuts or throw out some T-shirts or something like that. So that's kind of how the morning goes, and then, you know, that adrenaline rush comes about, 8:59, 45, and then off we go.
Is Saban going to take the headgear role after LC has his final College Game Day appearance?
No. Now I'm making a bit of a unilateral decision on that. First of all, I don't think Nick has any interest in doing that. Wouldn't want to do it. Yeah. And the second part of it, Bo, and I would love to, because of my respect for you, I wish that you were the first person I've told this, but you won't be. Anybody that tries to put on a headgear at the end of our show, I will form tackle, if not clothesline them, and might get ejected for targeting. That's LC's, man. Yeah, and you know, we need, this show has always been genuine and authentic. Now, I realize that a critic could say, what exactly is not pre-planned, genuine, or spontaneous and authentic about about a retired football coach grabbing a giant mascot head and putting it on his head? Well, I mean, it has become a cornerstone, but it started just as an idea. Hey, let me try this. You know, Allison Herbstreit, can you get the Brutus Buckeye head? I don't think it is part of the show, but it's really LC, you know?
Yeah,
and I sort of think that while we'll always give it a nod and pay tribute to it, I think there's certain things that belong to individuals, and I think that belongs to Lee Corso.
Yeah.
I mean, will somebody in some spontaneous moment someday, maybe, but in terms of saying, okay, well, he's gone now, now Nick or Pat or Desmond or Kirk, it's your job to put on the mascot head. I don't think that's the right way to go.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys do next, and as you continue to evolve that show, because it's been fun, and I got so much respect for it, and getting better every year.
Well, you know what? But one of the things that's happened, and again, I talk about being organic and authentic in what we do, is Pat's brilliance at the end of the show with the whether it's a chant or just, kind of being Pat McAfee has become kind of a send-off of its own. You know, we almost had dual send-offs last year. You know, whatever Pat's pick was, that, you know, he delivered with incredible showmanship, and then you would cap it with Lee's mascot hit. So, you know, I think it's almost happened, you know, without us sitting in a room someplace or sitting in one of our myriad summer meetings going, okay, what are we going to do? You know, how are we going to end the show? You know, it's you know, look, it'll be different without that mascot head. I always used to joke because I love setting the stage with the scene sets in the morning. And, you know, and then obviously the entire show built toward that headgear moment. And I would often joke with LC, you know, a minute or two before the show starts. I would say, hey, LC, you know, a minute here at the top, 2 minutes at the end. I would say scene set, headgear. The rest of it's just filler, baby. You know, obviously we're joking, but you know, it was something. The whole show sort of built to that headgear moment. And it, even though I think that, you know, in fact I know that Pat's pick has become, you know, a must-see moment. It's, you know, it's a crescendo moment. I understand that it is going to be different because, you know, people waited on to see whose mascot head LC was going to put on.
Reese Davis, host of College Game Day. We got one more Saturday without it, and then here it comes. What are the story? There's so many storylines I know that you've looked at. Do you have some favorite storylines that you're looking forward to talking about or watching unfold for the upcoming college football season?
Well, we had a meeting. We had a meeting last week, and before the meeting, I sent out an email. So basically, I'm not going to bore you by reading the entire email to you, but just a few of the things I think that you need to remind people early on, or just, you know, a couple things. The seeding changes for the playoff, you know, these kind of big picture deals. In fact, you know, Notre Dame can get a bye now. I think the quarterback transitions for the teams that we expect, at least early, to be good are fascinating. And dovetailing in with that is that the coverage of Arch Manning is probably going to be like the coverage of Tim Tebow. That's sort of my feel on it. I almost feel like you can't get enough Arch. And I realize that in your market right now that the people, I hope nobody crashed their car or, you know, spilled their coffee or anything like that. I understand. But, you know, he's a highly talented guy at, you know, preseason #1 program. He has the name, but he's a gifted guy, and he's handled this thing with incredible grace up to this point. You know, I think those are like the biggest ones, but you also have all of these teams with the new quarterbacks who have other questions too. I mean, we figure Ohio State and Texas are going to be great on the lines of scrimmage because they've recruited so well and used the portal well. But there are new faces there, you know, and while Arch is gifted, he's only started a couple games. Ohio State doesn't have a guy that started a game. So, you know, I think they're not the only ones. Notre Dame, Alabama, even Georgia. I mean, Gunnar Stockton played in the playoff last year and started the game, but, you know, we don't know. So you've got a lot of these highly ranked teams that have huge quarterback questions among their questions. And maybe, you know, there are some with more experienced quarterbacks and maybe flying under the radar a little bit that can sort of upset this idea, at least the starting point that we have of who's in the top 10.
Is it not wide open, but is it a more wide open race for the national championship this year than most years, in your opinion?
You know, I think it depends on how you define that. I still think that top to bottom roster talent level thing, there are probably, you know, 7 or 8 teams that, as I look at it right now. Now, look, I'm happy to be proven wrong on that. You know, someone that's not ranked come firing in there to actually win the national championship. Of course, there are tons of teams that can pull an Indiana or an SMU, you know, or Boise State. Although I think we expected Boise because of its position in the group of 5. But there are tons of teams that can get into the playoff. But I would probably limit it as mostly the usual suspects in terms of being able to navigate that gauntlet and win the national championship.
before I get you out of here, Reese, it's not like you're breaking down Arkansas every day as you get ready for your first college game day at Ohio State, Texas.
I did a little extra digging after you texted the other day. Now, I'd done my preseason work on Arkansas, but when you texted and asked me to be on, I was like, okay, let's give
go.
Arkansas a little
All right,
extra
we're going to
look.
open-ended question.
Yeah, I'm giving them a little extra look.
Let's go. Open-ended question, Reese. What do you have on Arkansas?
I think they'll be improved. Taylon Green is one of those guys. And I think I saw you're going to have him on your show later today, or maybe you already have. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was on earlier, yeah, from breakfast.
Okay, all right. So I'll have to go back and listen to that. Highly talented guy, but obviously they're replacing all of those receivers. Defense has to be better. And I know Arkansas fans who know this, and I apologize that I didn't realize this until yesterday when I was looking. I had no idea how often they fumbled the football last year.
Yeah.
No idea. I mean, I knew they had turnover issues. Like I had in my stats, like they're -8 in turnovers. So, I mean, I knew that. And I thought back to games last year. I was like, oh, yeah, they gave up the ball a lot. 30 fumbles? I know they didn't lose all of them, but you look at the stats and you basically – fumbles are 50-50 over the course of time. And if you lose like 70% of your fumbles, you have bad luck on fumbles. Arkansas didn't even really have bad luck, and they lost 14 of them, second most in the country. Don't fumble the ball. That's number one. But I think they'll be improved. I think they could go – if they stay in all the games, I think if they go 7-5, that could be a really good season because that schedule is brutal. Brutal. So I was breaking it down, and I think if you can get to Tennessee at, what would that be, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can get to Tennessee with no more than 2 losses, and if you only have 1 loss, now you might be on to something because then you get through that. Maybe you get through Tennessee, you're 4-2. And maybe you get a little something going there, and as you build confidence, maybe you play better.
Yeah.
So I really think the whole thing cannot lose that game at Memphis. Memphis they're completely new. Everybody's gone. Everybody's new coming in from Memphis. Can't lose that game. If you can pull the upset at Ole Miss, great. If you can knock off Notre Dame at home, great. Cannot lose the Memphis game. That's a pivot point to me for the early part to see what kind of season Arkansas is going to have.
That's a great look at it. Great stuff, Reese. Can't wait to do it again. Can't wait to watch you guys have another great year of College Game Day. And then, of course, I'll see you around the college football playoff. But thanks for always making time for us, man. You're the best. Love what you do.
Well, the feeling's mutual, Bo. You're the man. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you, man. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the last couple days of summer before you head off to College Game Day. It's 8:20. Reese Davis, longtime host, College Game Day, longtime college football personality at ESPN with us on the Chuck and Bo Show. Chuck's out today. It's just me, but I do want to tell you, we love good people. I think you know that from listening to the show, and we love our advertising partners because they're good people. We don't want to recommend anybody who's not. And at Teamwork Roofing and Construction, I'm just struck by the quality of people that you get to deal with. They're going to talk you through every bit of this process, but they've already made sure that they're using the best quality materials and they have the highest quality of people working on their crews. If you need roof work done, maybe the summer's just been rough on your roof, sudden storms, all the sun, all the heat, maybe it's just time, or maybe you're building a development or commercial properties. Teamwork Roofing and Construction is your one call. Just log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. You can find out everything you need to know there. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality, powered by teamwork. I want to see you and Bart in the old 3-legged race.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let me just...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Summer storms and heavy rains can sneak up fast, so make sure your gutters are ready to handle it all. Hog Trough Gutters, locally owned and operated with 30 years of experience, installs seamless gutters made on-site to protect your home. They're fully licensed and insured. Every job is hydro-tested, and each one comes with a 20-year warranty. Proudly serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. Schedule your free inspection today at hoggutters.com.
At the Stonebreaker Hotel, we believe in the art of gathering, whether over a thoughtfully prepared meal or a quiet moment on Markham Hill. Start your day with breakfast classics from the all-day menu, served from 7:30 to 1. Savor shareable bites from the bar and lounge menu until 10. And let the dinner menu from 5 to 9 bring familiar flavors with a fresh twist. And for a weekend well spent, how about brunch? Rooted in connection, designed for comfort. Learn more at stonebreakerhotel.com. There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here. And there. let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You think you're on anybody's pickup list at school?
No.
Chuck Barrett able to pick up my kid.
No, that I doubt that.
I'm gonna write you in.
All right, good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Reese Davis circling the Memphis game as a key factor to Arkansas' season. And, the way he talks about it and goes at it, you see how it's different than just talking about how many games you can win or lose. What we don't spend enough time maybe thinking about is the momentum of a season. And that's why certain games are so important. Obviously, to win any game is important, and it adds to your win total. But to win certain games at certain times can propel you into a little bit. You can get on a little bit of a roll. If you think about golf and you just start to get a little bit of a feel going sometimes, and maybe you have 2 or 3 good holes, but versus when you can't find it and you're pressing and you're struggling. I don't know if that's a perfect analogy, but that's what can happen in a football season. So he circled the Memphis game And then he brought up the point that I think we also forget. How many fumbles, how many turnovers Arkansas had last year? And if you are better personnel-wise, top to bottom, like if you want to just talk about the 22 starters, if you're better on a composite score with those 22 guys and you eliminate beating yourself, you can get to a position where logically you're like, yeah, we can have a winning season. That could happen. All of those things aren't guaranteed. That's why they play the games, obviously. But it could happen. Brent is in Searcy. Brent, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Chuck's out today and Monday, and we're running wild.
Oh, so you're holding it down solo, right?
I don't know if I'm holding it down, but I'm yapping.
There you go. No, I need to ask you a question, Bo. How's your daughter's first couple of days of senior high school going at Fayetteville High School?
Apparently it's going great. I've gotten no emergency emails. I haven't been called to bring anything. She's telling me it's going well. And, like a lot of these things, it's the anxiety of the unknown going into it. But she's doing well. And I hope everyone else is doing well as they've started school.
And how about your son Ty? How's he doing at the? I know he's moved into the university.
He's doing great. He's working a bunch, producing videos, doing what he likes to do, and giving his dad a hard time, and all the things that 19-year-old son should be doing. But yeah, everything's going great. Thank you.
Hey, Bo, and best of luck. Best of luck to you on your new venture.
Thank you. Varsity Vibe, we're excited about it. The high school podcast, newsletter, social media channels, varsityvibearkansas.com if you want to check it out. High school sports. We're just trying to enhance the coverage of high school sports here in our state, which there's so many great high school stories. I was reading one today. You don't hear these stories mostly until a kid goes to college. And then you hear the backstory of what they were in high school. Well, we need to hear some of those stories while they're in high school.
There's nothing better, Bo, than high school athletics, football, basketball, baseball, whatever your chosen sport is.
Memories for life. Memories for life. No doubt about it.
And hope the coaches in the mouth get together with y'all soon.
Love to do it. Coaches in the Mouth podcast. Brent and Searcy right there. We got to hit a break, Brent. I appreciate you holding, saying hello, and hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right,
Bye.
man. We're going to come back in a moment. We'll get to more of your thoughts coming up. Chuck and Bo Show on a short segment. Again, thanks to Reese Davis. What a show, man. Taylor Green earlier, Cole Kubelik, and the shortstop for the Party Animals. 6:30 tonight at Baum Walker Stadium. Bart's going to be there. Edward's going to be there. We'll have a full report on Monday. Chuck's not going to know what happened when he came back.
No.
We've done like a year's worth of shows by the time he gets back here. But I'm sure he's having a good time with an umbrella drink in his hand already. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Particularly in the South, I'm not sure there's a title that carries more weight than coach. Maybe preacher.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck, unbeknownst to any of us how, got his iPad working to watch the British Open on his own.
I play the role of dumb blonde sometimes, but the reality is I am very skilled when it comes to the iPad.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
John Daly II, man, he's in the quarterfinals of the U.S. Amateur, and it's the first time a Razorbacks made it this far, so congratulations to him. Good luck in your next round, and then if you can get to the finals, it'll be 36 holes on Sunday, which would be an awful lot of fun to watch. You got the Party Animals and the Texas Tailgaters tonight at 6:30, part of the Savannah Bananas baseball organization, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We had the shortstop on, Sal Jacobo, who actually played at Rogers High School. And it was a fun interview. And if you're going tonight, I think you're going to be in for a treat and a different experience. All right, we got a special interview here. Kirsten Dickens from the Alzheimer's Association is hopping on about an event happening this weekend as well, Saturday and Sunday, to benefit the Alzheimer's Association. Kirsten, first of all, good morning. Thanks for coming on. What can you tell us about this baseball event happening this weekend?
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, this is a really unique event for the Alzheimer's Association. It is actually a 10-year-old youth baseball invitational to raise awareness and funds for Alzheimer's research through the Alzheimer's Association. So Sam Perrone is a retired federal prosecutor and author, national author, who ended up building his own baseball field in his backyard. It's amazing. He's got scoreboards, foul poles, dugouts, the whole 9 yards, and started this in honor of his wife, who he just recently lost earlier this year to Alzheimer's disease. So it's pretty great.
He's got a goal of this field is so cool. I mean, if you love when I drive by a baseball field, if I'm on vacation or out of town or whatever. In fact, I was in Branson with my daughter at Whitewater and went over and looked at Baseball of the Americas, the Parks of the Americas. And I just love seeing fields. But for somebody to build one in their backyard and to make it look so real, and then to have
he went all out. Yeah,
and his goal is to have an annual tournament, a nationwide annual baseball tournament in his backyard to raise $1 million annually for Alzheimer's research to honor his late wife. We hear about causes and things, but this one obviously is deep in his heart, and that he's made all this happen. And there's going to be probably 1,000 people out there this weekend. It's in Fayetteville off Highway 16. Where can people, if I give them the address, they're not going to remember. Where is this posted somewhere they can look it up if they want to come this weekend?
Yeah, the easiest place to go is on Facebook. They have their own Facebook page, and it's called the Perrone Field Invitational. And they've got the address, the hours, all the information. There's even a link if people are not able to come by this weekend and want to make a donation to support the cause. They've got his Venmo link in there as well.
Okay, that's awesome. Kirsten, tell us just a little bit, real quick, what you're doing at the Alzheimer's Association, what you guys are all about in this great cause.
Yeah, so the Alzheimer's Association, as most people probably know, works on the global level, national level, but also on the local level to provide care and support for individuals and families that are dealing with Alzheimer's or any other kind of dementia. Here in Arkansas, our team serves all 75 counties of the state, and really what we're doing is providing education, resources, support group. One of the things that we have is a 24/7 helpline that is free for anyone to call for any information. They can also call it if they have a crisis situation with a loved one, and we can help walk them through that. We are doing state and local advocacy, both to implement good programs, but to increase funding for Alzheimer's and dementia research. And we're also the largest nonprofit funder of Alzheimer's research as well. So as you know, this is a devastating disease, and so many people, over 60,000 in Arkansas, are affected. So there's a lot to do, and it takes the whole community. So we really appreciate you guys giving some awareness for this, and of course our volunteers and donors like Sam who help us elevate that as well.
Yeah, really cool event, and such a great cause. Kirsten Dickens Alzheimer's Association this weekend. The Peroni Invitational happening. Just check them out on Facebook if you want more details on that. Games start at 9 a.m. Saturday morning and Sunday morning, raising money for Alzheimer's awareness and support. Kirsten, thanks again. Have a great weekend. We appreciate your time today.
You too. Thank you, guys.
All the best to you. Great cause. You know, that's just such a tough deal. I mean, we've seen it, and it's obviously maybe something that the sports world as a Razorback, fan base has been exposed to a little bit more than maybe some other things, just because of, the Broyles family and all of that, and the late Frank Broyles and everything he was a part of with that. But this is a really cool deal. Like that experience of seeing that ball field or those kids playing there and then turning that into a fundraiser. I'm glad they were able to join us and share a little bit about that today. Again, the Peroni Field Invitational, if you want to find it on Facebook. 8:42. Let's take a couple of calls here on a Friday as we're one more empty Saturday until we have college football. Sterling in Center Ridge, good morning.
Good morning, guys. And, I hate to talk about other callers in a negative fashion, but explain to me what sense does that make. I make a bet with you. You don't pay me. I make a bet with Bart. I lose. So because you didn't pay me, I'm not going to pay Bart. If that's not the dumbest thing I ever heard of in my life, and you're a gambler.
Well, I don't want to sound negative either. I don't want to sound negative either, Sterling. And I couldn't say it on that call because I said I wouldn't push back. I said he'd call and say anything, but I can say it now. He's a moron.
That has to be one of the dumbest things. He's lucky he's betting with Ty with a little innocent Ty. He bet with somebody else like that.
That's just how a Texas fan thinks.
You bet with him, he don't pay you, so you ain't gonna pay me. You deserve a tail whooping. What logic did that? Why did it take you a full year to come to that conclusion? I might need to pay this man.
I mean, you're not wrong. I kind of wanted. He said he was on his way to Hardee's. I was like, I'll meet you at Hardee's. Let's go around back. I mean, listen. I might not get him, but he gonna get hurt trying.
I mean, I don't understand that. I try to look over the Texas stuff. I try to be a fair guy, and I look over that. But in the gambling, that's a code of honor.
I'm just playing.
That's a code.
I love.
Don't gamble.
No, listen.
Gamble.
There's no. Look, come on now. Do you think Brian from Ozark has character? Have you heard anything to indicate that prior to today, where he finally made? As Steve Graves would say, it's never too late to make a good decision. He finally made a good decision. But prior to that, I've seen nothing that would indicate, like, we can count on this guy.
I try to find the good in everything, though. So I try to find the good. I wouldn't think, despite all the stuff and all the trolling and all the things he said about us and all that, we're not a pimp on his tail and stuff like that,
Yeah.
You look over all that. But there's a code when it comes. That's all you have is your word when you're in this gambling game. When you gamble like that. This ain't like Oakland where you give you the money up front.
You're right.
You do man on
You're right about that.
It's like
it's like playing golf. Nobody pays their bets. I don't care if it was $2 or $5 or $100, right?
Because it doesn't matter the amount of money. The fact is that you won, that you beat this guy, that my team won. I don't care if you gave him $100 and he took it, he made change and got 1,000 pennies and put it in the pool and swim in it. The fact is, if you lost, I have your money and I done took your money and threw it in the pool and I'm swimming in your money.
So Sterling, yeah, if you're playing in one of these fantasy football leagues, and do you take the last place punishment if you get last? Like
if I was in there, I'd take it.
You got to be at like Skyline Chili in Cincinnati for 24 hours, but each chili dog knocks off an hour.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
But you got to do it, man. If you're in, you're in.
You have to do it. But like you said, at least he did do it. So
here we go. This is life lessons with Sterling. This is what I love about you, Sterling. It's your character. You trying to find the good in everybody and everything. Love that about you.
I try my best, though, and I hope people do it to me. I mean, it's a two-way street. If I do it to others, maybe they'll do it for me.
Hey, man.
Guys, y'all have a great day.
You're the
Go
best.
Hogs.
Have a great weekend, man. Sterling and Center Ridge. Bart, thoughts in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room?
Well, Sterling's 100% correct, right? Like, if you make a bet, you lose the bet, you pay up. Like, that's the bottom line. It's not a because when you don't pay up, that's a mark on your character. Like, it doesn't matter. Other people's character doesn't matter in that situation. It's your character that's on the line.
I'm just laughing about this whole thing going down at Hardee's today.
Yeah, I know. It's really something, isn't it?
Just
The
whole thing.
visuals.
You can't make this up.
Yeah, the visuals are amazing.
Brian from Ozark is going to pay his $100 bet to Ty at Hardee's.
Well, I saw on Twitter that's where their show is happening.
Well,
this
yeah,
week.
but I mean, still.
There's like a sausage biscuit deal or something.
No, it's like a burger eating contest or
No,
something.
that was like
That's
2
already
weeks
had
ago.
that?
Yeah.
Did you participate?
I
Did
tried
you try to get in there?
I tried to get Bart to go down there with me because it could have worked out, but he refused to do it. And then I offered to do it in the office, just the two of us, and he also declined that.
No, we don't need eating contests. I don't think we can handle it.
Not at this hour.
No.
Well, we would have went at lunchtime.
Chevy of Fayetteville. It's the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. That includes brand new Traverses, Trax, all your favorites like the Tahoes, the Suburbans, the Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Go see Mark, Chris, Denver, the gang at Chevy of Fayetteville. Tell them you were listening to Bart in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room.
That's right.
And that Chuck just bought a new truck, and ask him about it. Together, let's drive.
Chuck, you've been around a while, and look, I don't mean that ugly, and Bo, you've been around not as long as Chuck.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansas.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Hey, it's Bo. And for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Why deal with the stress of commercial travel when you can fly on your schedule with Jet Aircraft? No TSA lines, no baggage claim, no waiting around. Just you and your crew flying in comfort and style. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a golf trip, or planning your football travel for the fall, Jet makes it easy. Seats up to 9 with a full bar, custom catering, and plenty of space. Visit Jet NWA for pricing and more. That's Jet with 2 T's.
So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Have you ever won a raffle?
We got
Anybody here won a raffle?
Dang right I have.
Have you really?
Yeah,
What'd you win?
Like a small screen TV or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're just a winner. I mean, Bo's a winner.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Thank you, Chuck. Hope you're having a good time wherever you are right now. Long weekend for Chuck, well earned. We got to get him all, rested up for the big football season that's coming and all the extra duties, and still doing the Chuck and Bo Show.
I think Edward nailed it. I hope he's having a great time at the water park.
Yeah, I think Chuck.
Whitewater, I think they should be opening soon.
Yeah,
So
I'm
sure he's got his towel under his arm, flip flops on.
Oh yeah, sunscreen.
Waiting at the gate.
So all like the sunscreen that's still pasted.
He's got
on.
his. He's got his
white sunscreen.
He's got his ticket printed on like a full size piece of paper.
He's got the phone. He's got his phone on the strap around your neck inside the waterproof Ziploc. Yeah,
God, he's gonna kill us if he hears this.
It's so good.
They don't open till 10 today, so hopefully
he's having breakfast at the Village Inn there in
Yeah.
Branson.
Nothing too heavy.
Or whatever
'cause he's
that.
gonna be
No,
swimming.
what is it? What's the breakfast place there? You know what I'm talking about.
Do they have a Shoney's up there?
No, sure, that's better. He's at Shoney's.
Hey man, I miss a good
Denny's.
Shoney's.
He's having a grand slam at Denny's.
That's too much food.
WT Equipment, family owned, locally operated dealership, 8 locations all over Arkansas. Whether you're running a farm, managing a job site, or taking care of your own land, they got all the tools like New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and the legendary Bobcat to help get it done. Check out those Bobcats. Their expert staff is there to help you find exactly what you need. They're great people to talk hogs with, too. WTEquip.com, their website where you can go to work. Man, we learned a lot today.
Reese Davis says the Memphis game could be the pivotal game for Arkansas this season in terms of momentum and how the season ultimately goes.
I thought the way he said it made a lot of sense. If you missed the interview, you can go back and watch it on YouTube or listen to it on the podcast. Cole Kubelik was on earlier. He was great about Arkansas's chances to be better this year from the SEC Network. And we heard from Taylor Green and the Party Animals shortstop. That game's tonight at 6:30. Have a great weekend.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price